Hello? 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 Okay, let's see if I can hear myself. Check 1, 2. Okay. Prove God is real. This is final evidence for all those pesky atheists. Today, prove that God is real. Prove that God created the universe. Undeniable proof. I'm going to show you something that is going to take that doubt out of your mind that if God is real or not. So those of you that don't believe, atheist, stubborn atheist, you're going to learn a thing or two today. This is undeniable proof that God is real and exists. This atheist and other religions, this is a rock. This is proof that God created the universe. Otherwise, that rock came from nothing. Nothing created this rock. Of course, God created this rock. How am I so sure that what I'm saying is correct? Because there is one proof that tells us all that this rock was created by God. A book named the Holy Bible. So how do we know that God is real and God created the universe? Because the universe could not create it itself. Therefore, it had to be created by the God mentioned in the book. Those atheists, now are you going to say, this is proof, a rock, the universe, it was created by the God of the Bible. I think that maybe some atheists might be asking, how did you put together 1 and 2? How did you put together that God created the universe because it's mentioned on a book? This is not a book. This is the Holy Bible. It's a book. And it's mentioned in a book that a character on a book named God created the universe. Therefore, the universe was created by God. But the book mentioning God creating the universe doesn't prove that God created the universe. I don't care. because it feels good, it makes sense to me, and that's good enough for me. That's all I need to know. God is real, and God created the universe. So, atheists, shut up. You don't know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. The Bible told me that God created the universe. The book told me that the God in the book created the universe and created that rock. So, final, that is proof that God exists and that God is real. Of course, I'm making fun. A little bit of fun, okay? I'm not making fun of you, people that believe. But this is more or less the way I used to think before. I would defend my precious God. I could not care less anything you had to say that contradicted my belief in this beautiful and loving God that is mentioned in the book. Now, today, I understand that the whole time that I believed that this God was real, it was just that, a belief. And no amount of belief will make the God real. That's very easy for me to say today and to understand it, but when I was involved in God's love, I did not want to hear it because I was totally dependent on my emotional connection with this God that is mentioned on the book. I point like that because the screen is in front of me. But for those of you that believe in God, in any God, because I know you're thinking that, no, your God is real, but the other person, I know my God is real. No, we all believe that the same God is real, but it's just different approaches. Sure. You believe that the God is real. You're right, it is your belief. And some people do not agree with your belief because other people believe that other God is real and the other God created the universe. So you see, when it comes to gods, you will always be in conflict. Because when you introduce a God to a group of people, there's always going to be people that believe and don't believe. And the people that believe, they will always continue to subdivide that God and adjust it to their advantage and make other different branches of believing in that God to the point that they will create other gods, like is happening today. So sometimes I get into the comment sections of some videos, people talking about God and the love of God and their relationship with God. And sometimes I decide to ask questions. What is the purpose on believing on this particular God? And the person answers or responds, hey, there's only one God. My God is the only one real. Why are you saying why I believe in this God? Because you believe in that particular God. The point is that the answers that some of the believers provide in these comment sections from some of the videos, I sometimes find outrageous. I think that the most common denominator between believers in YouTube is that a little bit of brainwashing, a little bit of unfiltered information that they allow to reach their brain and heart, no filter. It's just the information feels good And that's all I want to, that's all they want to know. They don't care about anything else. So that's fine. I make these videos to remind you that there's people like us that understand that your belief in your God is your belief. That's it. That doesn't mean that the God is real. So as much as you defend this particular God that you believe in, we understand that you are defending your beliefs. And for those believers that are constantly telling other people about their relationship with God and Jesus, why the marketing? Why you continue marketing this relationship between you and God? Because I think deep down, you know that you're making this thing, making this thing up in your mind. And maybe, I don't know, you want some validation from other people, like I used to do also. I wanted to convince everybody that God was real. What for? To make me feel good, because sometimes it felt awful. I wanted to save other people. I want salvation from them. Now I understand that the whole salvation thing is just a salvation game. It's an emotional control for human beings. That's it. There's nothing else. So that is my proof that God is real, because it is in the Bible. If it was not in the Bible, you and me, if you're a believer, we will not know that God created anything, because we needed the information to be provided to us about this particular God mentioned in the Bible in order for us to make a connection between our beliefs that the universe was created by the God of the Bible. Why? Because it says so in the Bible. It's crazy, but, if it makes you feel good to believe in this particular God, then you go. Like I mentioned on my videos, I am no one to tell you what to believe in. If you have not been able to solve your emotional problems with anything down here in this earth, and you want to solve it with irrational thinking, man, just do it. If you want to do it to a God. You want to do it to the reading of the Tarot. If you want to do it through anything, as long as you don't hurt anybody, just do it. Try not to use drugs or anything that's going to hurt you, but whatever is going to help you and assist you to solve your current problem that you have in front of you. Just as a reminder that there's people that are going to call you out, because people understand that what you're doing in believing in this particular God that you believe in is you trying to protect you, to save you. Because like I said, I mentioned in all my videos, believing in gods, in any God, has nothing to do with believing in God. Believing in God has everything 100% to do with you and your feelings. Ask yourself a question. How do you feel about your particular God, your God? Does it feel good to be friends with the most powerful being in the universe? Wow. God is happy with you, man. That's a great feeling. Actually, I like talking about God, our relationship. It feels great. I'm a better person. The information of a God provided in a book makes you feel good. You go, man. You go. Believe. Reminder. I think there's going to be a point in time that your honesty as a human being is going to start conflicting with these ridiculous thoughts about a loving God. Yesterday, I was listening to, I think his name is Janko, uh, a nice guy with a beer. He talks about God. He was telling another person that he has a lot of conflicts in his thoughts. Like he's tempted, and sometimes he feels bad, he feels dirty. And I put a comment that that's perfectly understandable that you feel like that, because it's very hard to be an honest human being and at the same time believe in God. You wake up one day in the morning and you are praying and you don't feel absolutely anything. You feel like you're talking to yourself and you start doubting, and you have to run to get something to provide you that God kick, so you can reconnect, because you're losing connection. You're losing connection with God. Man, what's going on? I feel like I'm making this whole thing up. And you continually to have these debates in your head. Man, maybe people are right when they say that this God is not real. And I put a comment like, man, I know what you're going through. I went through the same phase. You start doubting because it's really hard to live life, the real life, down here, having your head up there with this loving God. Is extremely, extremely difficult conflict, especially if you're an honest human being. Honesty and believing in God do not go together. I'm sorry to break it to you. If you're a human being, you have thoughts, you have reason, you use your logic. And all these things that I just mentioned go against beliefs in God. That's why you feel awful and you feel dirty. The moment I remember this being dirty feeling that I used to feel when I was in God's world, anything that I would say, I would be worried, like, oh my God, did the Holy Spirit just flew away? I felt it. I think He left my heart. Man, I'm going nuts. This salvation thing is driving me nuts. Am I safe? Or God, am I safe or I'm not safe? I just want to know. If you are God and you know everything, and you know the past, the present, and the future, you know if I'm going to be safe or not. So that means that anything I do is not going to make a difference, because you already know the result. So what am I doing? Why am I even feeling dirty? I feel like, shoot, just because I have this thought about, I don't like what I read in the Bible. It feels a little bit violent. I'm sorry, God. I'm sorry. Did I say that? Oh my God. I'm going to pray, get on my knees, and I feel like, Then I had the terrible idea of making a parenthesis, and I told myself, I'm just going to be honest with myself, just 2 minutes. This whole thing about the Bible and what I'm reading and God is starting to feel horrible. God, if you're there, I'm so sorry. I have to create some distance with the information in the book. It's driving me nuts. It's creating conflict with my family. I'm separating myself from other people. I'm starting, in a point in time, it felt really good. I'm very thankful with the community part in church, the singing, the praying. It felt good in a moment, but now I think it's going against me, because it's really creating conflict in my entire being. So God, if you're real and you're loving, you let me go. I was just waiting for the lightning strike. Oh, so you don't want to love me, huh? You know that there is a hell for you waiting for you, young man, huh? Man, I was tempted to go back. I'm like, what am I saying, man? I feel bad. Should I do this? Should I? And I decided, I think I did the best thing is to stay away from God. Stay away from any God. And I tell you that the moment you go back to being honest, it is a lonely place to be. It's a sad place to be. You feel very lonely. But I found something good in that loneliness. I didn't have to pretend there was a God. And that thought made me feel good. You know, the weight on my shoulders of pretending, you know, in the group that we were praying and, you know, oh God, and the praying. I used to speak in tongues. That's how submerged I was in this God world. I used to spend a lot of time at church and reading the Bible. So I decided no more. I felt bad. I felt lonely. I still was feeling dirty because staying away from God. But I had to pretend no more. No more pretending. And just that being honest with myself, man, I started to feel good. I lifted away from my shoulder. I could walk more straight. You know, and this is crazy what you're going to hear. My praying still continue, but changed completely. I was not asking God anymore for special favors. God, give me this job, get me this car, give me this, give me that, give me this opportunity. Now that I look back, I was using God for my own advantage. I was even telling people that were mocking God, God is gonna get you. God, this guy is mocking you. What can we do for him, huh? A little lightning bolt, something that is gonna teach him a lesson. Look for the things that I was asking for, praying. You mock God, you paid the price. I was nuts. Then my praying changed. If God, if you're real, God, universe, nature, whatever is listening out there, because I still feel that there is something. I don't know what it is. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to give you thanks. Thank you because I'm standing up with pure health. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm like, you know what? I think that praying feels way better. Just giving thanks. And still today, I wake up in the morning, I go to bed, I say, you know what? Thank you, whoever is out there, whoever is here, whoever is to my left, to my right, I don't know. If someone out there is listening, thank you for my bed because it feels awesome. Sometimes I have to sleep in the hospital or on the floor or doing something else. Now I'm in my bed. I give a lot of thanks for that. Just being able to sleep and relax. In the morning, I wake up, I'm like, man, I'm alive. Thank you. Javier, you're not going to ask for anything special favors? No. I feel awful asking for anything. I know the neighbor, they're asking for their son's health, 5 years old, dying from cancer. Man, if I'm going to ask for something, the neighbor's kid, please, get him better. Heal him. Something for me? No, thank you. Thank you. That's it. So there were good changes when I started to stay away from any God. Feel better, honest with myself, honest with other people, being thankful. No more a-hole. No more selfish a-hole. Thinking about my salvation. Thinking about what can I ask God. You know, in this letting go of God, of any God, it opened my eyes to something, to some things that I find today very interesting. Because when I started giving thanks to whoever is out there or is here, even if there's no one out there, even I feel like giving thanks. Because as long as I have health and I'm not in a hospital bed dying, I have opportunity to do things, and I'm very thankful for that. One of the things that I'm really surprised, that even when I say like, thank you, universe, thank you, whatever, man, I can almost hear something saying, move. Move. What else? I heard the word very clearly, to move. So I have to move in life? Is that what I have, mobility? Oh, okay, I don't know. Maybe I'm just making this up. I'm just talking to myself. Move. I heard in a time also the word research, explore. And I heard a third word. I think I just made it up. But sometimes I think it came to my mind. That said discover. Oh, okay. I just made up 3 words. Move, explore, and discover. And I'm like, what for? What do you want me to move, explore, and discover? Man, I laugh a little bit, because sometimes when I have these conversations with myself, man, I can make up some good shoot. Because when I ask that question, like, okay, so I have to move. Is that why we have mobility as human beings? Is the exploring part of why I feel bad when I'm not moving and doing things? I have to explore. Is that why if I'm not discovering something new, if I have a new toy, whatever, is that why the reason why when time passes, then I don't feel interested in this whatever I had in front of me? That's why I have to continue discovering. So what am I supposed to discover? What? Man, I heard something. Discover you? What? Who is you? If you is God, okay, so move, explore, and discover. What? Discover. Oh, so I'm not supposed to know what am I supposed to discover? Is it discover you? Is that the reason why I'm so resistant and reluctant to be told who God is? These people, 2,000 years ago, are telling me today who God is. This guy making money in YouTube is telling me who God is. Closing the door. This 23-year-old kid making money talking about God is telling me who God is. Because the book says here in Corinthians 18:24 says that the word of the God, blah, 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 blah. Is this the reason why I feel like this whole thing is just horrible? It might be true or not that what I'm hearing or saying to myself might be true or not, but today it this information about moving, exploring, and discovering is giving me a better feeling than the awful, bloody, violent God from the little book. I like this God better. No sacrifices, no acts of violence, no killings, no drownings, no demons. It's just myself, my body, my mind, and my feelings in relationship to everything else, other people, animals, and things. So, instead of living my life following this horrible, violent God from this awful book, violent book, I have decided to live my life in a way that I move, don't stay in one place, because I'm designed with mobility to move. And that movement is for me to explore life. With what purpose? To discover. What I want to discover, I don't know. Because if I knew what I'm going to discover, then it's not discovery. Probably I can discover who God really is. Maybe the big prize in life is to discover, to find God. Maybe the real one, not the violent, bloody one. No. This, I think the word is petulant, awful, insecure God from this little book is not God. This was made up by a group of people, and some with really bad stories. There is some stuff in the Bible that you could probably use in your life to improve your life. My recommendation, stay away from the book. It's very violent. It's very bloody. I would not keep that book around any of members of my family until they are 18 years old and they can decide from themselves that they want to read this crazy, fantastic, violent information. If you listen to this live stream right now or later, don't believe anything I tell you. Don't believe anything. Continue believing in your God and see how far it's going to take you in life. See how far you're going to continue fighting with your honesty. Me, myself, some people that try to convince me, actually some people get in the chats and try to convince me to get back to the God of the Bible. I'm telling them, you're crazy, you're wasting your time. Why in the world would I go back to being what I consider being ignorant? This manipulation tactic used in the Bible, understand this, my recommendation, you don't have to. Okay? If you influence one of three things in a human being, you can get that person to do something for you. Something very simple. Can you get me a glass of water? Get out of here. I'm not going to get anything for you. If you can influence thoughts, feelings, or an action in that person, you can get that person to do something for you. Forget about the glass of water. How about getting money from people, huh? I bet you that's going to make you feel better. How about we use any tool available out there? How about we use a God? Because God carry with them a lot of emotional charge in people. You can take advantage of people that are really broken emotionally and just inject this stupid information about this violent God and call it loving God. And you're going to get them to give you money. Oh, but I don't give anybody in YouTube or a preacher, I don't give them money. You give them energy. That's enough. They can convert your energy in something else, in views, in money. So if you don't understand as a human being how your body, how you work as a human being, you're going to be used. which most likely you're being used right now and you don't know it. Thought, feeling, and action. If you can brainwash someone, you can affect their feelings and you can affect their actions. If you can directly affect someone's actions, like going direct physical, you can affect their emotions and you can affect their thoughts. If you can affect someone through their feelings, you can make that person to take an action. So when someone tells me, my special relationship with my Lord and Savior, I know exactly what they're saying. The God feels good. The God feels good to me. The belief in the God feels good to me. So I'm taking action according to this information that makes me feel good. Okay, he's being used, but it makes him happy. Just why you want to try to change him? Just let him be. To the person that is making money talking about God, and God revealed to me that this and this and that. God told me last night. They're just lying. They know they have an effect on you, emotional effect on you. You're going to be producing views so they can get money. Myself, don't even subscribe to my channel. Don't put a thumbs up. Don't do anything. Because then I would not be honest. The main reason I have this channel, one of the main reasons is because I would like to make money through my YouTube channel. I'm doing a terrible job because I barely post. But in a certain way, I want my freedom. I would like to have more freedom, have more money. And how about doing it by something that I think is good for people? Do the opposite of God, people talking about gods. I'll do the opposite. Tell them, hey, I don't think you need a God in order to be happy. But God makes me feel good. You don't need it. There's people feeling good without any God. Anyways, it's been 45 minutes since I started this live stream. Again, let me see. There's a few people. Nobody asked me any questions. I just take 1 hour doing a live stream. I do a live stream just in case someone wants to ask me a question. Sometimes I don't do live streams. I just do videos. But going back to the title and initial theme of this live stream, proof that God is real. God created the universe because it was mentioned on the Bible. That's the title of this live stream. I was planning to talk also about Erica Kirk. I saw yesterday an interview of her in Fox. Maybe I mentioned something a little bit about this interview because it really caught my attention. If in the remote case that Miss Erica Kirk gets to listen to this message, which I really doubt. I'm a nobody in YouTube. That's fine with me. First of all, I feel sorry for your loss of your husband. I think after hearing you expressing yourself in that interview the way you did it, I think it's hard for people that had never lost a loved one try to understand what you might be going through. So I think it's understandable that people would say stupid things, especially when Charlie was a public figure internationally. The guy was very famous. I think just by that fact, and also by the fact that you are showing up on camera and what you have shared to the public is inevitable that people are going to express themselves in regards to your husband and to you. When Charlie Kirk was shot, man, I felt like I was punched in the stomach. I felt really bad. I was not in agreement with everything that Charlie was saying, but I understood what he was trying to do and where he was coming from. I actually think that Charlie sometimes said things that were way too out there for me, especially the God part, the Christian part. I'm like, man, I think Charlie's a little bit brainwashed of what he's saying. But anyways, I think there are more good things that he's saying and trying to do that the things that I don't agree with. I think Miss Erica Kirk, with the most respect, I think that in the case, a specific case of Candace Owens, I think she is by far the most vocal person saying, I do not agree with what the government is saying happened. And she is asking questions. You know, when the supposed shooter was caught, I felt very happy. I'm like, oh man, we know who did it. I felt, mixed emotions, but I felt good. I'm like, man, they caught him. They caught him. It was not until I started hearing the official information from the government about the case that I'm like, wait a second, that doesn't sound too good. That sounds kind of weird. The information coming from the government cracked in myself a doubt. It is not until I saw Charlie Kirk's closest support operationally in the company, Mikey, turning around in the time that probably Charlie Kirk needed him the most, turning around and just fleeing. Man, that made a huge crack in my mind. I'm like, what the heck? What's wrong with him? Why would the shot, Charlie Kirk is not even all the way to the ground, falling, and this guy's on the phone. Right there. I'm sorry, Miss Kirk. I'm so sorry. I'm one of those guys that I'm like, no. That was not correct. That was the opposite of what a normal human being will do, especially someone that is very attached to Charlie Kirk. Now, I get to hear the guy, what's his name? The security guy, his bodyguard, part of his security in an interview. For me, that sealed the deal for me. That, you know what, I think this kid either didn't do it by himself, or he was not the one that this assassination of Charlie Kirk. Can you imagine what I'm telling you? After believing 100%, because of the information that the guy, the kid, he shot Charlie Kirk, it's not until I hear the information from the government, supposedly the evidence, It's not until I see Mikey McCoy going like that, almost running away, not until I hear and saw this security guy for Charlie Kirk that I'm like, no, man, this is way too much. So, Miss Erica Kirk, in myself, I don't speak for anybody else. I'm so sorry, but Charlie Kirk was a public figure that influenced a lot of people. And for myself, this needs to be investigated more in depth and openly. Because the Charlie Kirk security guys is extremely suspicious. Even, I believe, in my opinion, he lied in that interview. Horrible. Not only that, he don't accept blame for what happened. His only job was to protect Charlie Kirk, and he failed miserably. And he's not saying, hey, let's not look for anybody to blame. It was my fault. No. The guy's like, no, because of that, because of this, because the other guy, because the drone and whoever he can blame. So I think very humbly, with a lot of respect, Miss Erica Kirk, not only Camden Owens, but myself, I would like a more open, transparent investigation of what really happened to Charlie Kirk, a person that influenced so many people. So if you decide for yourself that, you know what, the investigation right now is enough for you, I will respect that myself, because, ma'am, it was your husband, your family. But that doesn't take away that people like me are pushing for more transparency. I think you could ask part of this people, the government, the Mikey McCoy, the security guy. Why in the world would you run like that? Why you didn't help my husband? Why you didn't stay there? What the hell is wrong with you? What about you could help? Why did you run like that? Sir, security guy, why would you lie? Why would you not accept responsibility? That's horrible. I find it a little bit kind of weird that you're not upset saying these things. So it's understandable for me that people probably, I'm not in very good agreement of how you have reacted. But, for someone that have lost a loved one, myself, people can react in different ways. I think the way to react is wide range. People can act in a weird way. Some other react very centered. That is just my opinion. Just like Candace Owens. Oh, and one more thing that also makes me doubt that this kid supposedly shot Charlie Kirk. And is that your friends from TPUSA? These are the most suspicious guys behind this whole theme of Charlie Kirk. These guys are acting in such a weird way that it's really hard for me to understand that someone would not think like, hey, what? Why this guy's saying these things? Why these guys in being resistant to people asking questions? Why not just, hey, pick up the phone, Candace Owens, can you get on a live stream right now? Let's do it right now. We don't have anything to hide. No, it has to be in person because, the integrity. Man, don't try to fool anyone. Come on. Everything that these people that was around Charlie Kirk, in my humble opinion, have created this whole mess and have created doubt in people's mind. At least I can say it in myself. It's until recently, a couple of days ago, hearing these guys from TPUSA, I'm like, no, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Candace Owens, I think you probably shouldn't waste your time with these people. I think we have to request a more open investigation. How about we get the call logs? Who was Mikey McCoy talking to? How about we investigate more things? The airplanes that were in that day flying around. Where's the video? The guy shooting. I would like to see the video that will take everything out the window. There's no doubt. But I didn't see the guy in the video shooting. So we're going by what the government is saying and what some people are saying. For me, there's no evidence. And that the bullet that is breaking the sound barrier or something like that, I'm ignorant when it comes to guns, that went through the neck and didn't go through the other side. Forget about that one. Let's go back to the security guy, to Mikey, to the people on TPUSA. It's all... No, so I don't feel bad about saying these things. I'm not telling you anything that you have done, that you did this. No. Probably I have been very respectful. And I think that if this assassination of Charlie Kirk is just closed there, and I think people like myself, like you know what, I doubt TPUSA, I doubt the government, I doubt a bunch of people. And I'm thinking this kid that supposedly made the shot, either he had assistance from someone or from a group of people, or maybe he didn't even was the one who made the shot. That's how far I am right now. How confused I am with all this information that the people that was around Charlie Kirk has created in my mind. So imagine myself, I never met Charlie Kirk in person. Imagine Candace Owens, her friend. You know, I think at the contrary, people criticizing her, was this guy's name Tim Pool? Tim Pool calling awful names to Candace Owens. Man, I didn't know Tim Pool was such a wussy. Man, I'm so sorry. I was laughing when he was yelling things to Candace Owens. Obviously, he has some personal problems, and I don't know. But anyways, imagine myself that I never met Charlie Kirk in person. Imagine Candace Owens, that was Charlie Kirk's friend. I'm kind of very respectful to what she's doing, because she could just let it go, let it go. I think it's more problematic for her to be asking questions than just letting it go. But I choose to think that she's very transparent as a human being, and she wants real answers. She doesn't want to be fooled. And one more thing before I finish this live stream. Today, I was surprised of how many people hated Charlie Kirk. I'm so surprised the guys that I used to hear on videos that I thought were very reasonable, intelligent, saying awful things about Charlie Kirk, that Charlie Kirk was racist and he was violent and dangerous. One of the things that I got from Charlie Kirk, I respect a lot. You know why? All these guys talking poo-poo about Charlie Kirk, I didn't see any of them, and I don't see any of them pushing back against the takeover of the United States. Some people are so stupid right now. I mean, so disconnected from reality that they do not understand that what happened in UK and happened in other countries can happen in the United States. Wars are not fight necessarily like before, like throwing bullets and missiles. Some people decide to just walk into another country and take it over. If not, ask people from UK, which in my opinion, which I could be wrong, they no longer have their own country. Their country was taken by another one. Some people don't know it yet. Try to talk bad about a certain group of people, you will go to jail. Imagine the United States right now at this moment with a president like Kamala Harris. It's the destruction of the United States. Charlie Kirk was very courageously, even I didn't agree with everything he has to say, he was very courageously pushing back against other religions taking over the United States, other ideologies taking the United States, injecting stupidity in people in the United States, creating narratives in the United States that goes against American values. Probably the only one, just a few people. That's why he was so hated. Because the guy was what probably you were not. People were very fearful of Charlie Kirk. Because, man, for some people, truth and honesty is a slap in the face. Right now, it is my humble opinion that we bought some time with Donald Trump. Not my best president, but I think he's probably one of the best presidents the United States has had. Not because I like the guy, but because what he has done. Just take one thing, the border. That's it. There are other things that probably not very good, but he has done some good, very good things that have bought some time. Once Donald Trump gets off the presidency of the United States, imagine Kamala Harris as president. Imagine what's the other guy, the governor of Los Angeles, California. These are weasel people. For me, these are awful people. Some of these are communists, quite communists. These are people that are entirely about business, making money, selling your mom. They don't care about anything. American value. Pfft. You know that there are people in the United States inside the United States that hate the United States. They want to erase it, change America, change the United States and put something else. And this kid, Charlie Kirk, was pushing back probably all by himself to the point that I think that Donald Trump was elected in good percentage because of Charlie Kirk, because of the effect he had in American youth. That's how strong of a force was Charlie Kirk. even when I did not agree with everything he said. I think some of the stuff that he was saying, he a little bit too far for me. But the overall thing that he was trying to do, it was something to respect. So, if you were offended by Charlie Kirk, oh, I'm so sorry. He hurt your feelings. To some other people, man, he was stepping on their toes. He was stopping, probably even him was not aware he was stopping an invasion of the United States. Some people in the US are so disconnected from reality, so disconnected from their country, from their family, from themselves, that they are not aware of this. Look at other countries, look at Venezuela, look at Cuba, look at Nicaragua, look at UK, look at other countries. The United States is not the best, but it's not the worst, and I think it's far from being worse like these countries that I mentioned. Imagine UK getting arrested for having the wrong thoughts. What a way to live life in fear. And just to close, I imagine myself, I make this mental exercise about Kamala Harris being the president of the United States. That lady, you can put her 5 miles away, okay? 5 miles away, and I can tell that she's a fraud. She doesn't know anything. Nothing about economy, about how to run a company, nothing. She knows nothing. There is proof of that. Go through all and each one of the interviews of her, and this lady had the courage to stand in front of camera and to nationally, internationally just lie. And this was going to be the president of the United States. What's going to happen when Donald Trump gets down from being president? I think probably if the Democrats gets into power, man, they're going to go with everything against Donald Trump and anybody that poses a blockage in their business. Anyways, that is my humble opinion, and everything that I say here is my opinion, and I could be wrong. I'm just looking at things the way I understand it, and then the way I describe it to myself. So, thank you for listening, and see you